live in a simulation. The simulation is based on language, and language rules your understanding of the world around you. A tree does not become just a source of wood until it's labeled a tree or until it's labeled as lumber. Before that, it is infinite. Woo! There's the woo for the day. Now, on that note, I do believe that we live in a simulation. But I think that our understanding of what a simulation is wrong. I think what am I trying to say? You know what's really weird is when you know something so well, but you didn't get it from a place that deals in language, so you don't know how to put it into words. That's where I am right now. For instance, we see ourselves as individuals, but are we, or are we just a focal point of our own imagination? No, I'm not tripping. So, a lot of truth has been revealed over the years in music and other arts, but I think music has the most palatable truths for most people. One of the earliest I found was in, what's it called? Stairway to Heaven. Sometimes words have two meanings, and they do, right? Sometimes they have more than two meanings. I mean, you can spell there and there differently, but language isn't written. Language is spoken. Just at its base, the word lingua means tongue, so it doesn't mean pen. So language of the tongue is spoken. So there, those are all the same word, aren't they? But I spelled them differently, and you couldn't tell. Such is the same with government. You know, the people that established ours will tell you that it means one thing, but it also means mind control. How does it mean mind control? Govern means to control, right? If you have a governor on your car's speed, it can only get up to a certain speed. It's a limiter. And mentor, mental, mentis, mind, govern, meant, limit your mind. And that's what they do. They associate you not only with words, but not only do they define your reality for you, they define you for you, because they tell you that you are a Republican or you are a Democrat. Are you really? What does that mean? I'll even go so far as to say, those of you who define yourselves as Christians, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? And you can't really know what that means unless you've seen the inverse, can you? You need, in order to be able to truly identify something, you need to see the lack thereof. Maybe not the inverse, but the lack. But how many people have always grown up Christian? You don't know the lack. Therefore, you don't know what it means to be Christian, because that's just your status quo. In the same vein, you don't know what it means to be a Republican or to be a Democrat, because you're just you. You are just you. And you have been told by people that the ideals that you have mean you're a Republican or you're a Democrat or you're a conservative or a liberal, blah, 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 blah. That cages you. It enslaves you. It puts you in their box. And once you're in their box, you are in their ring. They own you. the funny thing about the people that so many worship, that they consider elites, there's this misunderstanding and this assumption that they are somehow smarter, more worldly, more wise. They're full of wisdom and gnosis and all of this. Are they though? Are they really? Because from what I've seen, the people in government are only there because they're schemers. And doesn't that make sense? The power they exert is corrupt. Therefore, the way they had obtained it is also corrupt. That's why it's so astounding to me when people say stuff like, well, they need to do something about these pedophiles. Who do you, that's you. You are they. You are the they that has to do something. Because the ones that they're actually speaking about are the pedophiles. But that's how the religion, the cult of Governus Mentis goes, man. You think that they're better than you. They have instilled this idea that their class is superior to your class, not only in monetary wealth, but in human value. And that's wrong. Why is it that right when these files come out, we're all of a sudden about to find out about aliens? Well, that's so that if you search Trump files, what comes up is not Epstein, it's aliens. He wasn't smart enough to avoid the behaviors that got him put in those files. He wasn't smart. Let's even assume that he's innocent. He wasn't smart enough to avoid the association with a known pedophile. These are not smart people. In fact, largely, they're the dumb ones. They're the bullies from school. They're the jocks that picked on the small kid. That's who got to the top. Because shit floats. And we are truly in a simulation, and it gets more so every single day. And if you don't think that Google Gemini was invented to create a digital twin, which is what Gemini means, of you, I urge you to watch the last season of X-Files, because that spells it out. And I've known that since before I saw this season, but you really can't compete with art as a medium of communicating truth, right? Because you can present it as fiction and as fantasy, but those who can see, the building blocks can say, oh, that's what's going on. And I suggest you see that that's what's going on. But even biologically, we're in a simulation. You've never touched anything. You've never felt anything. Your brain feels things by processing electrical signals from pressure. That's crazy. You've never really seen. I don't see that truck in front of me. I see what my brain interprets as that truck in front of me. This is a simulation. These bodies decode the simulation. I have another theory that I'm working on, or not a theory, but an idea that I'm currently working on to better understand the effects of substances like DMT. I think that it has to do with frame rate, mental or spiritual, whatever. It's the same. Frame rate, the rate at which we process, not just process, but simulate this reality. And with DMT, it becomes not a flip book, but a continuing stream, so to speak. I don't know yet. This is in its infancy, but I think I'm right about that. I just, again, can't put it into words because I didn't learn it with words. You ever had that where you know something so much but you can't explain it because you just know it? That's called gnosis, Gnosis. It's essentially knowledge without attainment. Like I didn't learn it, I was given. Really pay attention to what this society demonizes, right? Because Gnosticism is considered heresy, but who considers it heresy? Who is it? I mean, it's heretics considered heresy. So why believe them? Anyway, I gotta run. I gotta go pick up some Girl Scout cookies.